You know, just a few minutes ago, I was reminded of a plaque that used to be in my dad's house, in his office, in his home. And I found it. It says, "Blessed are those who expect nothing, for they shall not be disappointed." That's a tough place to be. That's self-mastery. To live life without expectations. To be able to be free. To feel peace, joy, happiness, connection, whole, without things going the way you expect them to go, right? It's an easy thing for the ego to say, oh, of course, especially the spiritual ego. I have no expectations, but that's not true. We all have expectations, humans. We all have a fire, a mission of some sort burning in our soul and in our heart. And I feel as though that calling, that fanning of the flames is happening pretty rampantly right now. I expected that I was going to come on live and connect with all of you. However, I have to surrender to what is and be okay with it. The reason why I'm not able to connect today or yesterday or any of the days that I wanted to with other people's energies is because I, like many others, maybe many of you, am going through a serious energetic upgrade, which also is a dismantling, disintegration. If you look at like remodeling, you have to demolition the old before the new is built up. And that's sort of what I feel like I've been psychically, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually going through to the extreme over the course of the past few weeks, at least since the Pisces new moon, if not more, the last month. I've lost track of time and days, and it's been very difficult to operate in the old human operating system that I so easily was able to until the energy shifted and made it much more complicated and difficult to navigate and operate in the old way. And I feel that many are also experiencing this, and this is not something to freak out about or take lightly. We are evolving and growing. We're going through massive DNA, cellular. There's so much that the human brain can't even wrap around. The changes that are happening rapidly right now, internally within each and every one of us, as well as energetically throughout Earth and beyond. And not everybody is having the same experience, but again, I'm speaking to those of you who know that you are energetically sensitive, empath, psychic medium, multi-dimensional, all of the things. You're aware of at least that aspect. And there's more. And we will be experiencing more of ourselves and of our true potential in nature, or at least get a good glimpse of it. So there's always a choice. But for many right now, what we're experiencing, what I am definitely experiencing is we're in a new frequency. An all new frequency, all-time high frequency. And any aspect of ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or in any of the layers of ourselves that are not in a harmonic resonance or alignment with this new energy, which is attuning us to our true essence. And all the other stuff we have to allow it to dissolve, fade away. And in order for that to happen, it actually rises back up into our essence, our being, our consciousness. These are archetypes. We all have at least all 12 zodiac archetypes, and there are many others that we all possess together as well, collectively. And they arise within each and every one of us at different times. And now is a time where a lot of these aspects, shadow aspects, archetypes, things that have been suppressed, things that have been hidden, are no longer hidden. They're right there in front of our faces. And this is the new frequency. You can't hide anymore. And who would want to? But those who have been hiding from themselves are getting quite the awakening and the shake-up right now. But it is painful. For me, it is physically painful not being in alignment with the energy. So I've had to take a good week to myself and really allow all of the processes. And anytime I tried to take control of my body, my situation, I would get dizzy spells, vertigo, electrical shocks and zaps through my body, and would have to lay back down and get myself back into my body, into alignment. So it was showing me my patterns, my unconscious patterns that will no longer work in this new vibration. And I feel that many others are having a similar experience. So I do truly respect these words, because I had expectations for yesterday, for today, hopes that almost appeared to be, I expected to feel better, basically. And in some ways I am, but in other ways, it's just been a matter of surrender and surrender some more. We have a total lunar eclipse happening on the 14th in the sign of Virgo, which is also where the south node of the moon is. This is heavy past karmic baggage, patterns, ancestral patterns, unconscious patterns, beliefs, addictions, attachments, all coming to the surface to be recognized, and recognize how uncomfortable they are and how they have, for the most part, taken hold of consciousness at some point and sabotage, like self-sabotage, right? Many of us keep wondering, like, why are things rapidly moving, yet they seem like we're staying still at the same time? And it's weird. It's definitely an energetic shift that we have to flow through and trust the trust where the energy flow, where it's taking us, what it's doing, how it's bringing up all of the old relationships are also deeply affected or shown those patterns of codependency that they've been passed down as well from generation to generation, but they are created out of trauma. It's a survival mechanism. And that is something that collectively and individually we are meant to break. So that we can open up for the new, true, authentic paradigm of what it means to have an authentic, intimate relationship with another. Many of you, just like myself, have the ability to tap into other dimensions of time and space, other dimensions of ourselves, and other dimensions where we are able to speak with non-physical. This is also changing. More people are opening up this ability or realizing they have been all along, while others of us are being blasted with new energy to clear our channel once again for whatever the next phase of our soul's journey is. And this is something that, we think we know ourselves, right? I really thought I knew my path. I felt an alignment with it. And I was. It was a path I had to be on for quite some time. But all paths change, evolve, grow, and as do we. So we're also with this eclipse. Eclipse out what has been keeping us from seeing the shadow, the hidden parts of ourselves, the repressed part of ourselves, the void, the empty space inside is being opened and revealed. This is an energy of... Do you ever recognize or realize that you've been playing hide and seek with yourself? Because this is the realization many people are waking up to. And if you can see yourself in everyone, an aspect, you're on the right track to, opening yourself up to a higher evolved state and tapping into these other dimensions is going to be life-changing for you. There's a lot of synchronicities. They will continue. This is the language of the universe. This is the universal language that is encoded within us. So get on board. Learn the language of the universe and how it speaks to you in particular. And don't be stubborn with what you have learned and with what you have discovered as far as an ability. Don't keep it to yourself. We're meant to share with each other, each and every one of us. Our stories, our knowledge gained on our evolutionary process. We are being exposed to the collective greed right now. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow when you have to also turn that mirror inward and see where in me has even an inkling of what the world stage is showing to us, grandiose, right? Because it's time to level up. It's time for each and every one of us to level up on this game, in this journey, in choosing our highest timeline is the way we do that. See within yourself jealousy, envy, the shadow. Many may be triggered right now to see that aspect within self. But this is good because otherwise we keep it hidden from ourselves. We have to have the layers, the overlays pulled off of us so that we can see these shadow aspects and we can release them in the full moon eclipse. Truly choosing our highest timeline as we level up to our true potential, our true authenticity. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It is not easy to trust. It is not easy to let go of patterns that have served us, but are no longer serving us. The last message: keep yourself open to receiving, of course, blessings, love, compassion, gifts, but also receiving the wisdom, the knowledge, the information, and maybe some of the stuff that's not that easy to look at. But once received and surrendered to, you realize you're a lot lighter suddenly. And life is not so heavy and serious and stressful. And life starts to play with you. You can't make it up. You start to see how you are the co-creator of your reality. This is the message for us all today. I'm sending you all so much love. I do hope to connect with you all live very soon. We're just currently under energetic. I wrote a couple notes. Let's see. Oh, especially the ego of myself and others it's under reconstruction. So it's important that we find light-hearted humor in ourselves. If you can have the ability to laugh at yourself, maybe after you've had some kind of outburst of righteous rage or just crying like uncontrollably over something that maybe you felt deceived you or someone. We are in a process. If you take the analogy of being a seed, right? You know that whole saying, they thought they buried you, they didn't know you were a seed, right? So we're a seed in the ground and it's dark and it's cold, and we are still covered with our protective shell as a seed. But we're being watered with emotion and other energies, and the sun is shining its light and energy and heat on us. Truly, the sun is like, wow, really doing a number on us right now, but also for growth. So it's activating in us germination, this process of transformation from the seed. The germination begins, and that hard protective shell has to crack open, and the roots begin to pull themselves out and root into the ground through this process, while the shoot begins to sprout upward, following this light, this heat from the sun. We haven't broken through the ground yet, but we can feel it. We feel the pull. We're following the light. We're following the sun. And it's still dark, and it's still cold, and it could be still scary with our protective shell now cracked open. Trust. We soon will be breaking through the ground, reaching a whole new perspective of life, and seeing ourselves develop into a whole new form. We're in the process with the moon in Cancer, as I'm doing this message now, of cleaning out the closets, so to speak. And maybe you really do feel like, I need to clean out my closets, because this energy is of cleaning out the clutter that we've just stored in places, subconscious places, and it's time to get it cleaned out, metaphorically, but maybe physically too, because sometimes when you clean out old stuff, old memories pop up that, are meant to pop up for you. And it's important that we share our experiences with each other as we go through these energetic upgrades and these experiences. Share all of the downloads that we do receive from our guides, from our family of light, from source energy, because why would you want to keep it to yourself? We're not in the closet anymore. It's time to share. It's time to share with others. Maybe time to share with others whom you thought would not, or maybe in the past had not heard you. And one last message. One of my many big lessons that repeat themselves. Speak your truth. Speak up. When your intuition is telling you something, it's important to speak on it. I'll give an example. And I know what has always kept me from always saying something. Like sometimes I will, sometimes I don't. Was checking in on a friend's cat while they were away on a much needed vacation. And when I got in the house, I smelled gas pretty strongly. And there was a part of me that was like, are you sure that's what you smell? And I know that they're not, I don't want to worry them, and they really need to be on this vacation. All these excuses, right? Of why I didn't want to make the call to say, hey, I smell gas in your house. But I did. And, we had I did the checks. We had the whole conversation and just basically chalked it up to, I must be smelling something else. Everything seemed okay. Whatever. Okay. Long story short. Today I get a message. By the way, we had the gas company come because we ran out of propane quickly. And turns out that there was a small leak because the guy who installed the oven didn't do it correctly. So I was smelling something, and it was important that I spoke up to say something. And I'm glad that I did. But I know in my past, there were times where I wouldn't, and I would regret it. Why would I not say? But I also know the persecution wound of the past is very strong, and I allowed that to be stronger than my intuition. No longer, but that's a recognition of, when your intuition speaks, it is speaking truth and loudly, and it is important to honor that. And also to take a look at, what is your persecution wound from your past or even past lives even that keeps you from expressing your truth. So I think that's all I have for today for all of you, but I'm sending you all so much love. I do miss you. I hope to connect with you soon. I'm just too sensitive right now to really tap into other people's energy fields. So I hope you understand. Sending you all so much love. Take care. Bye.